shooting a vid. I'm shooting a vid iPhone style. And I want to tell a story of I don't like people like looking at me whenever I'm filming. I don't like all eyes on me, but it's just the way it is right now. But I want to tell a story that has to do with that right there. I want to tell a story. I was over there by Abe's, okay, and a guy named Mark Abraham, who's on the board of regents for the colleges of this freaking place. He owns Abe's. He does. Yeah, duh. And he's a businessman. And Abe's is in a black part of town. And if he knows what all about this, and it gets out, man, he's gonna be freaking washed up, dude. He's gonna go to jail. Because a lot of his clientele is black people on the east side of Lake Charles by Legion Street and Leonard's Food Quarters and all that stuff. But anyways, they had this, I was walking by there on the corner of 12th Street and Highway 171, and they had this old black dude, and he was coming from by Jones Grocery right there, between Abe's and Jones Grocery. They have a how's it going? They have a road. I forgot the name. Progressive Street. That's the name of the road. Progressive Street. Which is ironic. You know, it's one of the more rougher places here in Lake Charles. Rougher neighborhoods. And they had this old black man on a bike. He looked like a freaking wino. And I was walking through there, and we crossed the street at the same time, and I was headed towards Memorial. I think I had to take care of some business there. And you know, he was on a bicycle, and I was cutting through. They got a bank on the corner there. I think it's either Capital One or Chase Bank. And I was like walking through that parking lot, and that black guy had pulled up on his bike at the ATM. And whenever I was walking past, he wanted to make sure that he looked at me and let me know that he wasn't a crumb bum criminal, because he had a bank account there. He had a checking account because he had an ATM and a savings account maybe. And that was his validation that he was a respectable member of the New World Order Red State Society, and he should be respected because he had a bank account. And that is that's an indicator right there of how much pressure there is in this state to be shoved into that freaking red state mold of an honest day's work, in that political, godless, fascist, racist evolution and ideology that the Nazis had, and Rockefeller and the rest of the robber barons had here, ruthless, cutthroat capitalism, according to Institution for Creation Research. And it was like he looked at me to let me know he didn't want to be looked down on like he was a freaking piece of trash. And his respectability came from the fact that he was responsible when he had a bank account. You see what I'm saying? And it's the pressure of the system. The pressure is peer pressure all around us that comes from the media, and it comes from the socioeconomic hierarchy in this town, which is really status, occupational status. You know, I had a marketing class where they said that you had occupational rankings, and it was based on status and income, and that determined where you were in the socioeconomic strata of society. And doctors were at the top. They had the top income and the top status, so they were like the top dogs. And he said he had a friend that worked offshore and was a mud engineer, and he made $80,000 a year. But because it was offshore, it had to do with oil or blue collar work. It was a low status, high paid job. So he was ranked lower in the social strata. And he also said, then you have like college professors that don't get paid that much, but they have a really high status job title and occupation. And so there's a ranking there. And then you have people, you know, like fast food or janitors or crap like that. They have low status and low pay. You see what I'm saying? And then you have the people like that old man that is lower than that. And what he was trying to do was get his status up so he wouldn't be oppressed and crushed and downtrodden, because he was responsible and he had a bank account. So there's so much social pressure on people to conform to that ideology, and it's hostile aggression in public. You can only go certain places in public, man, without having so much hostility thrown at you that you're pressured out of there. I go to Starbucks here on Ryan Street, and it's filled with these little yuppie wannabes, okay? And I am persecuted so freaking bad and harassed that I quit going because of the social pressures there, because I never buy anything and I'm poor and I'm on the street. I've had some people take up for me, but others, they hate me. And if I wanted to pursue it, man, I could get people fired and I could get some money out of it, but it's really not worth my time right now. Even though I might pursue it if it doesn't stop. But it's just an example of social pressure. Now, if you look up the word ghetto in the dictionary, it'll say an area in society that people live because of social pressures. You know, the ghettos of Germany is where all the Jews live, because that's the only place they could go without being freaking harassed. The ghettos of America is like the black ghettos and the Hispanic ghettos and the other minority ghettos, where they don't get harassed by the majority of the middle class and the gated community people. You see what I'm saying? And that's what it's coming to. Is there so much social pressure and harassment and antagonism by society on people like me and that old man, that if you don't conform then you're pressured into a ghetto, and eventually, guess what? It's gonna be the freaking gas chamber. And that's where it's freaking headed. Peace.